Hello, my fellow noobs and newbies to the channel. You may have stumbled on this video if you're an aspiring mangaka like me, or maybe you want someone to draw with. If you join me yet again, welcome. And if you're new to this channel, welcome as well. Today, I'm continuing my second week's phase of creature design with even more texture blocks, but this time with scales. Don't let them weigh you down though. Anyways, let's get to it. What makes a creature scary, disturbing, or even frightening? Maybe it's a creature that has a long neck or abnormally long arms. Or maybe it's a creature that is lurking in the dark and it has clammy skin and beady eyes that glow in the middle of the night, and maybe you're the only person there to witness it. That is the kind of fear that I want to invoke with my creatures, and I believe that by learning how to draw a skin that feels rough or has like alligator skin or even dragon skin, it's very like scaly, this will help me to create a kind of creepy feel. Or maybe their skin looks like it's slimy, it's been in places where we don't even want to know of, and that is why I've decided to start drawing alligator skin and scales in this video. When I think of creature design, the first creatures that come to my mind are the demons in Promised Neverland, and they have this kind of very menacing and authoritative and dangerous feel to their design work. They have a little bit of mixture of skeletal structure with fleshiness and warts from like the skin of a frog or something. Obviously, you know that they're not from this planet whatsoever. And that is a creepy feeling that I get from their characters that I want to recreate and my characters in the future. Another good example of using creature skin on human, kind of like human creature hybrids, is in my favorite manga, Hunter x Hunter. Spoiler warning, so if you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, then turn away. But if you've seen the whole show, or at least up until the Chimera Ant arc, you would know that there is a big shift in the story, and one of my favorite characters, her name is Palm, and you can see that when she turns into a Chimera Ant, her like whole figure turns into a completely different kind of person slash monster, or I guess Chimera Ant, and they put kind of like scales on her arms, and I thought that was really unique because it made her, in the beginning, it made her seem very scary, and you weren't sure whether she was good or bad again. So that is a really good example, in my opinion, of what creature design is implemented on a human hybrid. And hopefully, if I'm able to make these scales properly, I can make either creatures or human hybrids effectively to the point where I can make very good characters like Palm or monsters like the demons in Promised Neverland. And what are your most favorite creatures or creature-human hybrid in an anime? What was it about them that made them so interesting to you? One of my most favorite things about creating or drawing really is being able to draw something completely out of your imagination that no one's really seen before. And at this point, I'm still trying to decide what I want my creatures to look like. So in a sense, it's pretty good that I'm doing all these kind of different textures and stuff to play with what exactly I want to make. And so far, there is one thing consistent, and that is that I want them to be menacing and frightening and, make them feel like a threat. And I think that any creature can look scary if you approach it correctly with tones, but let's face it, some textures just seem scarier than others. And that just kind of loops back to what I was saying before, that scales and kind of reptile-like skin just seems scarier. I think I'd be more scared of a scaly reptile-like creature than a creature that looks like a Furby or like a little fur. But, even those can look scary if done correctly. But my case in point is that scaly creatures equals more scarier monsters and, more than other textures. So what I hope to learn from all this, that is drawing all these scaly cylinders with, alligator skin and scales and whatnot, is to be able to draw creatures in detail and to highlight the features of their skin so that way the audience can visually know what they're supposed to be. And as aspiring mangaka and artists, there is something that we should all know or understand, and myself included. And after I was drawing this, it just kind of came up into my head. But texture is a way that visually expresses to us as the audience, what we will interpret this creature as. So, for example, if we see fur, we automatically assume that it is dry if it's fluffy. But if it's flat, we may interpret that as it being wet. And scales can be dry, wet, or, if they're wet, it could even be slimy. So unconsciously, we already assume how this creature might smell, how they might taste, yes, taste, and how they might even feel. So if I choose to draw a scaly creature, I want those attributes to be known. And that's something that maybe you want to decide when you're drawing as well. And so this is all that I have for this video today. And if you like this content, please feel free to hit that exploding thumbs up icon. And definitely don't do it just because you want to see my thumb blow up. But if you want to see more of this content, please share this with your friends and family. I'm trying to up my subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if you share that with them. But until then, noobs and newbies, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.